Mona, the chief of Motunui, stood on the edge of the beach, feeling the warm morning sun on her face. The waves gently lapped at her feet, and Puat the pig snuffled happily beside her. Hey pecked at a coconut husk, as clueless as ever. It had been many moons since her journey with Maui, the demigod, and the restoration of Taifiti Motunui was thriving again. Fishermen returned with full nets, gardens were green, and the people were smiling. But Mona still felt the call of the ocean. Adventure stirred in her heart like the wind stirring the palm trees. That morning, a strange thing happened. As she walked by the tide pools, she heard a soft hum. It was beautiful and haunting, like a lullaby whispered by the sea. Mona looked down and saw something glowing between the rocks, a small shimmering seashell with patterns like swirling waves. When she picked it up, it sang not with words, but with feelings, hope, sadness, and a deep yearning. She ran to the village and showed it to Chief Tui, her father. "It's beautiful," he said, "but perhaps it's just a gift from the ocean." Mona frowned. "No, it's more than that. It's calling for help. I can feel it." That night, as she slept, she dreamed of an island with tall cliffs, waterfalls that sang, and birds that echoed every sound they heard. But in the dream, the island was silent, its music lost. A voice whispered, "Find the island of echoes." The next morning, Mona packed her supplies. "I have to go," she told her mother. Sina hugged her. "Then go with the ocean's blessing." With Pua and Hey on board, Mona set sail once again. The singing shell guided her, glowing brighter whenever they were on the right path. They sailed past glowing jellyfish, schools of flying fish, and islands shaped like turtles. One night, a storm nearly tipped the boat, but the ocean held them safely. Finally, they reached a hidden island surrounded by mist. As Mona approached, she felt something strange. The air was heavy, and everything was quiet. No birds, no wind, just silence. The only sound was the soft song of the shell. Mona stepped onto the shore. The trees were frozen, as if afraid to move. The flowers had closed, even the waves were whispering instead of crashing. She followed the shell's glow through the jungle until she reached a huge stone door carved with musical notes. The shell floated out of her hand and fit perfectly into a hole in the center. The door creaked open. Inside was a vast chamber filled with ancient instruments, drums made from turtle shells, wind chimes made from coral, and flutes shaped like birds. At the center was a giant crystal shaped like an ear. A voice echoed in the room, deep and gentle. "Welcome, voice of the ocean." Startled, Mona turned and saw a tall figure made of wind and light, neither human nor spirit. It was the guardian of echoes. "Our song has been stolen," said the guardian. "Long ago, we sang in harmony with nature. But a shadow came, Silencio, a spirit of silence. He wished to hush the world. He took our voice, sealed it in a cave, and left us in silence." Mona's fists clenched. "How do I stop him?" "You must face him," said the guardian. "But you cannot fight silence with anger. Only a true voice of heart song can break his spell." Mona took a deep breath. She remembered the songs of her ancestors, the voice of the ocean, and her grandmother Talus' laughter. She closed her eyes and began to sing. Her song was simple at first, a song melody of hope, then stronger about courage, the sea, her people, and her heart. The instruments around her joined in, the walls shimmered with light. Suddenly, a cold wind blew through the chamber. Silencio had arrived. He was a shadowy figure, shaped like a man but made of fog. Wherever he walked, sound vanished. He tried to steal her voice, but Mona kept singing. The louder she sang, the smaller he became. She sang of the waves, of finding one's path, of not being afraid to speak. Silencio shrieked silently and shattered into 1,000 fading whispers. With his spell broken, the island came alive. Trees rustled, birds chirped, waterfalls roared, music filled every corner. The guardian of echo smiled. "You have returned our voice. Thank you, Chief Mona." As a gift, the guardian gave her a pendant shaped like the shell. "This will always remind you, your voice can change the world." Mona sailed home with joy in her heart. Back on Motunui, she shared the story with her people, and the island celebrated with dancing and music all night long. From that day on, whenever someone felt small or unheard, Mona would place the singing shell in their hands and whisper, "Sing your song. The world is listening." The end.